3, 2. You ready? Check it out. It's BMX legend Ryan Nyquist, who also happens to be the coach of the United States Olympic team.
Check me out.
Checkyouout.com.
Yep.
Something like that. So going into France, everything was really close for the men.
Mm-hmm.
And you came through in a big way as a coach. You qualified first for the men and first for the women. You are sending 2 men and 2 women to Tokyo. You coached them all. How'd you do it? Do you take full credit?
Definitely don't take full credit. I know as an athlete how hard that is, like to be under that kind of stressful situation and then trying to lay down a run under that kind of pressure. I mean, those contests are stressful enough, and then you add on the fact that, the World Championships of France was our last possibility as a country to earn points, last possibility as a rider to earn points, and then also your last possibility as a rider to be selected by the country. So you throw that all on top of it, it was like a pressure cooker situation. So I definitely don't take full credit for much of that, because I was there to help, and whenever I could, I kind of interjected and gave pointers, advice, but really the athletes kind of really just shined. I mean, especially after COVID and quarantine and not competing for a year, I couldn't have been happier about how they handled themselves into that situation.
You've had a very decorated BMX career. I shouldn't say had. I've seen you on the podium in the past year here. You're still on your grind. Do you think you ever dealt with pressure like these men and women are dealing with right now on this Olympic level?
Yeah, I'd love to say yes, because it's really, we said many times through the years, it's you're competing against people, but really you're competing against yourself. And these riders were putting such incredible pressure and emphasis on what they were trying to achieve out there that, I'd love to say that, for X Games one year, I really wanted that bad. So I put that kind of pressure on myself and felt that kind of pressure. I can't honestly put myself in their shoes and see how they were feeling, but it was intense, man. So as a coach, I was sitting back and I was stressing. I was just going oh my gosh, dude, I am so nervous right now, because the level riding, we haven't seen anybody compete for a whole year. The level of riding has increased. The level of just the chances they're taking, difficulty, all that stuff increased. And so it was just it was taxing, emotionally on me, taxing, And so you think about just how I was feeling, but then throw them in those shoes. It was crazy.
So it all worked out in your favor. Where's your head at right now going into Tokyo? Are you excited? Are you more of these nerves?
It's a mix of both, to be totally honest. I obviously, there's a finality to the Olympics. This is what we've been working on for years, and now it's approaching quickly. So you want to make sure that everybody's ready, that everybody's in the good headspace, that physically they're ready to go out there and perform. So there's a lot of nerves, and I'm not gonna lie, it's weighing on me just as a coach, because I want to make sure that, I'm working with everybody in capacity so that they are ready, and whatever I can do to help that. Some people are, all in and, taking every bit of advice or whatever I can offer, and some people are less, but I just want to make sure I'm doing exactly what I can do for each athlete. And we have, we're in the best possible situation. We have 2 men, 2 women, so 4 athletes total. It's I'm giving everything I possibly can to them to make sure that they're as successful as they can be in Tokyo.
See, it's kind of crazy to me hearing you say all this. I've known you a very long time. I never heard you say or have a desire to be a coach. I think you kind of fell into this, and it seems like you're totally running with it.
Yeah, I love it. It's been a huge departure from what I've done the majority of my bicycle career. It's sometimes equally as rewarding. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing somebody achieve a goal that I've worked with them hand in hand with is insanely rewarding, when I didn't know it was going to be like that. You think about coaches and you're just kind of oh, okay, they offer advice, they're there, they yell at people, they do whatever their technique is, and I was okay, historically we haven't had coaches, but we've had kind of homies that you have on the side. It's yo, watch this 720, see how does it look? You slide out, oh, you need to dip your, they give you a little piece of advice. And so that's what I was kind of all right, this feels like it's going to be like that. And it is like that, but more, there's way more to it than just drop your shoulder, twist harder, lean back. It's just there's so much more involved in each individual athlete. And I feel to be a really successful coach, you have to know the athletes, really, really know the athletes. And that's been one of the biggest challenges, is a lot of times cracking through fears, insecurities, just the emotional side of things. That's been a big part of just learning how to be a good coach for me.
You've totally embraced this. Do you like it? Do you want to keep doing it? This is big. This is gnarly. This is weighing on you. I can see it in you, and I know you're taking this seriously.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog's about to bark.
We're good.
She's about to just bark at you.
Sorry about that. We had a quick dog accident we had to deal with here at the Nyquist compound.
Yes, lots of things happening behind the scenes.
So I believe the last thing I had asked you was, you're very, very, very serious about this coaching thing. It's taking up a lot of your life. It's taking up a lot of your headspace. Is this something you want to continue doing now that you've been in it this long?
I do. Yeah, it's been a journey. You know, obviously it's a journey for the athletes. It's been a lot of like competition and stress and them trying to have this long-term goal and to stay on track and stuff. And it's been a journey for myself as well. A lot of learning experiences, a lot of just like, you know, taking on things that I never thought were going to be part of the job description. You know, like you know, Paris was, you know, needing a lot of help, and just, you know, she had a lot of like just kind of battles she was dealing with too, you know, like she came out and so, you know, helping her, you know, kind of navigate that. And you know, she had a lot of help behind the scenes too, but like, you know, it was a big thing. So, you know, and I never thought like being a coach or a BMX coach would have to deal with that kind of stuff, but I'm slowly learning like that's a huge part of it. You know, like if they're unhappy in their life, that translates them into not being happy about riding, not riding well. I mean, like, so it's been like for me like a big learning experience, big life experience. Like but it's been awesome, and I do want to continue doing it because like, you know, I think about like what if I was to take a departure from this coaching gig and just, you know, focus on riding or just I don't know what avenue I go down, but it's like I would have a hard time just stepping away from the athletes that I'm working really closely with because I feel like right now I'm super invested in their journey and what they're trying to do, and I have a passion in that. So yeah, I do want to continue with it, and I want to kind of continue helping them reach these milestones and even the small little goals. It's very rewarding for myself.
One specific you brought up, Paris came out as gay. You were obviously involved in the behind the scenes of that. Just out of curiosity, since she got that weight off her shoulders, have you noticed a change in her riding?
Yeah, and I have for sure. I mean, like when someone has that kind of life weight on them of feeling like they can't be themselves, feeling like they'll be judged negatively, you know, it's just like, yeah, like that's horrible. Like, you know, and I was, you know, she had a huge support system behind her, and she let me in on this secret, and I was like, you know, 100%, like I don't want to be pushing, be like, let's do it now, like this will make you a better rider, make me coaching easier.
USA,
like, yeah,
USA.
It wasn't about that. It was just like, really, it was like, as a person, like I love Paris, like she's awesome. Yeah. And I wanted her to be able to be herself around everybody. And so, you know, 100% supportive of it, was like, whatever you need, whatever I can help with, like, let me know. You know, it's obviously your journey. I can't be the one that's been like, tell me you're gay right now. It's really great time. Tell me if you're gay. It's like, no, like that was you. But like, I just wanted her to be happy as a human. It really didn't have much to do with the bike. But yeah, like on the bike, she's happier now. She's like laughing, she's smiling, you know, like once she was able to share that with Hannah too, it was like, you know, it was just a better experience. And I didn't know how long, you know, how long it was going to take for her to feel comfortable, you know, like even after that, because I'm sure it was just a huge relief pushing that button for that post. But then, you know, just interacting with people, and like, you know, it's got to be nerve wracking because it's like, you're constantly wondering if, like, I'm sure even to this day, like walking up to people that know she's gay, it's like, is that nerve wracking? Am I going to have like some kind of weird comment or conversation? So it took a little while, but I really have seen a difference in her just being just happier overall.
What do you think about the fact that the United States is sending 2 gay women to Tokyo?
I think it's awesome. I mean, it's who they are, you know. I mean, I think that if it shines some light and helps other people, other women specifically, you know, feel comfortable to come out, then that's a positive thing, you know. I mean, and I think that the women's BMX community is like full of like, you know, LGBTQ, like, you
very
know,
diverse.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, well, if that's like like an adverse positive, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like just, you know, off the side of tangent, like people are like seeing that there's women that have become like, you know, basically told everybody that they were gay and they're successful and they're happy and they can use them as kind of role models. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that, you know? So yeah, very cool. I don't know. It's for me, it's been just really, really fun seeing these women kind of come into their own and letting people kind of see them for, you know, who they really are. I don't know. It's hard to put it in words, but I'm very proud of them. Very proud.
So when it comes to the 4 athletes going to Tokyo, you work very closely with Hannah in Paris. Everybody's in North Carolina. You guys ride together multiple times a week. Very, very, very close and invested.
Yep.
Now on the men's side, you have Nick Bruce and Justin Dowell. I don't see you with them as much. Nick is in Cleveland. Justin's also in North Carolina, but he's a few hours away, and I don't really see him riding with you as much. What's it like coaching those athletes that you don't spend as much time with, and do you feel as connected to them?
I do, and that's where it comes down to, like, each athlete as an individual is totally different. You know, like, some are like, yeah, give me all the information. Tell me this looks good. Tell me how it looks. And other athletes are like, yo, I'll let you know when I need something, you know? And Nick and Justin are kind of in that capacity. Like, they kind of know exactly what they're doing, what they like, what they don't like, and they reach out to me when they need something, and then that's when I kind of perform as a coach. You know, like, I'm either facilitating or, you know, advice or anything like that, and that's where they kind of fall in. With the men's side, like, you know, I'm working with these such high-level athletes that, like, you know, I can offer them advice, but really they're the ones kind of pushing the envelope. So what I feel like my job is with them, especially those two, is when things get crazy or stressful, or maybe they're in uncharted territory, I can step in as, like, kind of like with some perspective, you know, or with maybe some advice of things that I've done in the past, you know. So it's definitely a different capacity than working with, you know, the women, but equally as rewarding, because it's just like when they have success and I've helped them either through some kind of thing or even just like ordering something for them. It's just like, you know, that's what they need, you know, and I look at that as like, that's an important thing to them, you know. So it's like, it's from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, you don't really work with men that much, but that's kind of how they want it. And if that's what they want it, like, who am I to try to interject and be like, you need me to coach you? Like, you know, it's like, no, like, that's not really my job. You know, it's my job to learn what each athlete needs individually and for me to serve that purpose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do, Justin's come out here and torn this place apart, and I really want Nick to come out here, because I think that he could do some pretty amazing things. I keep telling him I want to see him just blast a huge 540 on a 10-foot quarter, because I think that would be awesome. And so I'm calling you out, Nick. Please come here and just do big 540s.
Come to Ryan Nyquist's house and do Ryan Nyquist tricks.
Yes, please. I want to teach you them all.
So Tokyo's right around the corner. What happens with your coaching gig post-Tokyo? Does it go away for a year and come back afterwards? Does this not stop?
I'd say it kind of ramps down a little bit. You know, obviously, like, to say we're ramping up, it would be an understatement. We're really, like, charging full speed ahead. I think that everybody is going to want a break, not just staff, but athletes too. Like, it's mentally, physically taxing. So I think that once Tokyo is said and done, we're going to just, like, everybody's just going to breathe a deep sigh of relief, you know. The way things lined up with COVID and all that stuff, we're pretty much going to be, like, 6 to 8 month break and probably be right back in the qualification process. So it's not going to be a huge break. We're not taking years off, but had we done 2020 Olympics, actual 2020 Olympics, we probably would have had a grace period of about a year where maybe things were a little bit more chill. And maybe we'll find that after, you know, 2024, like, we do have that year off. But this year it's like, we're going to have like a slight, you know, down period, but then I'm hoping 2022 we'll have the World Cups will be back, World Championships, all that stuff, and we'll just get right back in the swing of things, and then we're right back into the Olympic qualifying period.
With the Olympics right around the corner, how important is it to you to take home at least one gold medal?
You know, obviously that would be kind of like, you know, like gratification, you know, like actually being able to have an athlete with a medal and see them holding it. Like, for me, that would be huge. I don't know. That's a really tough one, because it's like, again, I think this is going to be one of those life lessons for me, is where it's like, it's not me out there doing it. You know, it's like, you know, in some ways it's like, it's very much like being a parent, you know, like you know, take care of this person and you want to make him grow as a rider, as a person. And then at some point you have to, like, let him go and let him do the thing. And that's what I feel like at the Olympics is going to be like one of those moments where I've taught you everything you need to know. You've asked questions, you've done things, and we've grown and blah, 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 and you're ready for this. So, like, go out and do your thing. And that's kind of what I'm thinking it's gonna be like. But again, I don't know. So when we go out there and we do it, and if they win a medal, like, I'm gonna be very, very excited. But, you know, at the same time, like, a lot of these people are going to be on the next journey to the Olympics and the next one after that. So it's like, you know, if this isn't their time and they don't get a medal, well, then we can use that to grow off as well. You know, so the Olympics is huge, but at the same time, like, this could be a learning experience, whether it's a good experience or bad experience. And so for me, I'm excited to get there and just see what the Olympics yields for us, and then kind of react after that.
Before we wrap up here, we do have to talk about Ryan Nyquist, the bike rider, a little bit.
Let's do it.
So you're so heavily involved in this coaching, but I still see you on the bike. I still see you throwing down. Like I said, within the past year, I've seen you on a podium.
Yeah.
What's your future hold for Ryan Nyquist, the BMX rider? You're still a sponsored athlete. You're getting new sponsors. You're on Bobcat now, which is awesome.
Not bad.
Not a bad one at all. kind of random in a good way.
Kind of amazing, yeah.
So where's your heart at? Do you still want to push this and compete at the highest level, or are you kind of just an ambassador for the sport that's having fun?
You know, I do. I still love competing, you know, and I'm not going to lie, like my riding's taken a bit of a sideline to really help, you know, these athletes achieve their dreams. At the same time, I'm still out here riding, and I think sometimes they need me to go out there and try to send myself as well. I mean, like I try to create an environment that's like, A, fun, you know, because I think everybody progresses more when it's fun. B, that we're pushing each other, and that's me included, so that way they can see that, hey, I'm just as invested in this like as you are. So if I'm going out there to try to learn a trick, but I'm not actually going to the Olympic, it might get them excited to like actually learn something or push past one of those fear obstacles. So I do want to continue progressing my riding. I still have goals and I still have things that I want to try to do and project ideas and stuff like that. And I think that's going to kick back in to high gear after the Olympics. But yeah, I still love riding. Like I still love competing. I'm just, you know, with my coaching gig, I can't really compete at the level I want to because I'm very much invested in these athletes and getting them to achieve their goals. But like things like the monster contests, like those are awesome. I can go to those and just like go nuts, you know, and it's fun. And so I'm hoping with COVID kind of slowly going away that we get more events and more opportunities for me to go out there and prove that I can still ride and still do stuff. Because I think, you know, there's such a big spotlight on what's going on with me with the Olympics that like, you know, I think maybe it's been forgotten about, or maybe people assume like, oh, he's retired. But like, no, I still ride. I can still do, you know, triple trucks and, you know, a couple other things sprinkled in there. But, you know, it's just right now it's like I'm kind of giving my all to this because I want to see how this develops and how it goes for the athletes. So
Ryan Nyquist, professional BMX rider, very much not retired.
Very much not.
How about Ryan Nyquist, professional mountain bike rider?
Ooh, man, yeah, it's been a while.
I haven't seen it for quite some time.
Yeah, you know, I like to think of myself as a trendsetter, you know, because now all of a sudden there's a lot of guys hopping the mountain bike scene, getting endorsements and stuff. So really, I was about four years ahead of my time.
What does that make Darren Bearcloth?
The super duper trendsetter. So, funny story, sorry, small tangent. I knew Darren and I thought what he did was amazing, and he actually rode like a BMX dirt contest elevation back in the day.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like he can ride BMX. Not knowing how gnarly he was, not knowing what he was doing, how gnarly it was actually, like until I started doing it. And I literally was like, at one point was just like, yo, dude, can I take a second and just be like, you're amazing. Like you are truly amazing, because you were doing this stuff and like setting, like blazing a path in mountain biking, and then you came over and rode one of the gnarliest courses we've had and held your own. I was like, I had no idea, but like the amount of respect that I've gained for what you were doing, because I've actually done this now, is huge. So yeah, kudos to him. And he definitely did just such a badass, like just huge set of balls. That's crazy. But
so are you done with mountain bikes? Is this still a twinkle in your eye? Where are we at?
I still have a love for it, man. I just haven't done it. I just haven't done it in such a long time. And that's because I think when I did all the stuff I did, I got podium at Joyride, and that really was like one of the moments where I was like, whoa, I feel like I really did what I set out to do, which is just to prove that to myself that I could do it. Right after that, the Olympic stuff started up, and I was like, okay, I really want to do that. And so it really just like, I did a full 180, changed gears really quick, and then started chasing that. So it was like, there wasn't much room to still do both, you know? Had the Olympics not been there, I probably would have still kept on doing it, but I just really, really want to see if I could kind of go down that path. And it's led me to where I'm at now, which I can't complain about whatsoever, but that feeling of going and riding those courses, man, like, is one of the best feelings I've had on a bike. To be totally honest, like there's not much that compares to like just those speeds, the height of those jumps, the distances. Like it was next level.
Yeah, we can't clear that. Yeah. There was a time when I was afraid that BMX had lost you to mountain bikes. Now it seems like you're very much back.
I am back, but I would still love to just hop on a mountain bike and ride those courses. I really would. Yeah, it's just, you know, I think we all chase that feeling of like flying, that feeling of like getting excited or scaring yourself. And I got that almost every single day on a mountain bike. And it was truly an amazing experience. And then just also like learning a whole different scene, a whole different, like, you know, meeting all new people. Like, it was such a rad experience, man. The mountain bike community is amazing, you know, and so is BMX. But like, I had been involved for BMX for so long that it just felt so fresh to do something new. So I can't say I'm completely done, but I just haven't had a chance, and my passion has been completely focused on BMX. So it's like I haven't really been riding the BMX or the mountain bike at all, really. Like, I've been just like on the BMX bike.
Final question, changing gears a third time.
Let's do it.
You're a father, you have 3 children. You seem to do a pretty good job with this.
Seems like it.
Our friend Dennis Anderson just had his first son. What advice
Did.
do you give to Dennis as a brand new father?
Okay, can I speak directly to Dennis?
Absolutely, I'm out.
Dennis, enjoy it. I'm sure you're hearing it left and right. The kids grow up really fast, so enjoy it while they're small. Every stage is different. Very similar to BMX, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a lot of mistakes. You're going to do things correctly. You're going to do things wrong. It's all part of the process. I think just stay flexible. You know, it's going to be a life changer. It's going to be a game changer, but it's possible to do both. It's possible to be a good father. It's possible to be an amazing rider, but there will be an adjustment phase. And so if you can make it through that, then you'll come out stronger. You'll be a better person. You'll be a better rider because you'll appreciate the time you have on your bike as well. And I think just overall, like, having a kid just enhances your life. So congratulations, you're doing it.
That's Ryan Nyquist. I'm not Ryan Nyquist, but I'm happy to be here with you. Ryan, thank you for the time. Is there anything you care to add before we are out of here?
No, just tune in to the Olympics, tune in to Tokyo, and cheer us on, man, because these athletes have been putting a lot of work, and they deserve the support.
Beautiful.